This portrait of a man and his child by Carlo Ceresa is an extremely unusual one. We might take a scene of a father holding on to his little child for granted these days, but it was very, very unusual to paint a portrait such as this without the presence of a mother. Usually you would have the father there with a male child and the mother with a female child if they existed, but to have a father and an infant that we cannot identify the gender of is really unusual. What I love about this particular painting is the sad love that you see in the eyes of this father. He holds the child steady on the table. The little child's holding up an apple and a rose, both of which are symbols of love and also symbols of Eve. Now, you could wind quite a convoluted story around this painting. Is this little child perhaps illegitimate but been adopted by his father? Because the rose and the apple could be seen as signs of sin, if you take the religious interpretation. Or does the apple and the rose refer to the husband's lost love, the wife who perhaps died in childbirth? The costumes are interesting too, because they are in the Spanish tradition, but we know that Carlo Ceresa was a northern Italian painter. But there are a number of small towns in the north that adopted the fashions of the Spanish court. So the men wore these somber black costumes with white lace collars and cuffs, which were the symbol of a scholar. And the child is wearing exactly the same kind of costume as children in the Spanish court would wear, whether male or female. So it's a little conundrum. Is it a boy child or is it a girl? And we will never know. Round his wrist, or her wrist, there are two bracelets of coral. And coral was worn by children to protect them from disease. If you've lost the mother, you wouldn't want to lose the child.